Good morning. Welcome to morning meeting. So here's what's on my mind this morning. I'm thinking about languages and specifically learning languages, different languages. I mentioned before that French is the language that I'm trying to become fluent in again. And I do love that language. I love the flow of French. But it's not the only language that I happen to have an interest in. I have an interest in Arabic. I have an interest in Portuguese. Um, I have an interest in Swahili. So there's just different languages. I think I like the flow of them. But really, what it comes down to is I just like to learn stuff. I'm a hunter gatherer of information. I like to learn stuff and then like store it for later, like a little squirrel. So that's me. That's what I like. And I learned that over years, obviously. But I also learned it because I've done that Strength Finders assessment with Gallup. And two of my strengths are input and intellection, hunter gatherer of information. I love to do that. What about you? Have you ever done any of those sorts of assessments? And how, if you've done them, how have they helped you learn more about who you are and the things that you like and the things that you gravitate toward and why you do? Like, I had no idea why I was such a research junkie, why I like going down rabbit holes and ferreting out information, right? I had no idea. And then I took that assessment years ago and I'm like, oh, well, this makes a lot more sense now. I'm in my element when I'm doing that. Lifelong learning is one of my skills. I love to keep learning stuff, and it really almost doesn't matter what it is. I just will find an interest in it and be like, oh, I want to learn that. And maybe I do a surface learning. If I really have an interest, it's a deep dive into that topic, like habits. I love to learn about behavior and habits specifically, and so I spend a lot of time reading about that sort of stuff and motivation. Right? I love psychology. That's my background. But that would be why. It's the whole research side of that really interests me. And then if I can impart some of that I learned to other people, then that's great too, because I like to be able to do that because my other strength is relator. That's one of my strengths on the Strength Finder thing. There's all sorts of assessments out there that you could do. That's just one of them. Some are better than others. So do your research. Some are really grounded in science, and others not so much, and they're just for fun. But even those I think are, like I said, they're kind of fun to see what they're about. But that Gallup one, not that there's an ad for it, but check it out, and maybe it'll help you and give you insights that you didn't have, or maybe it'll confirm some things about yourself that you're like, oh yeah, that definitely is true of me. And then you can lean into those strengths. Like, I lean into the fact that I'm a hunter gatherer of information, and I create files. So on my computer I have files of information, folders filled with information, things that I think I can use, things I think I can share with somebody else. So if someone says, hey, I'm thinking about doing something about XYZ, and I go, I might have some information about that, let me go check. Here you go. you know so I lean into the strength. That's the point. Know your strengths and then lean into them. Don't worry so much about the weaknesses that you have. Everybody has weaknesses. That's just reality. But we don't have to always spend time on those weaknesses. In fact, sometimes it's just not useful to spend time on weaknesses. So focus on your strengths. Lean into your strengths. Figure out one of your strengths today. Probably already know it. And focus on it all day long. Let that help lead you through decisions that you're making and see what happens. Love to hear about it. See you later.